This is Sunday Night City with James Lee. I'm James Lee, and our guest tonight is photographer Steve Anderson. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, James. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, too. So, Steve, how many years have you been in photography?
I've been shooting 20, maybe 25 years.
25?
25. I'm old. Been around for a while.
Well, yeah. Well, see, now I have to ask, what made you really want to get into photography?
Actually, it was a friend of mine. When I was young in junior college, we worked together, and he applied to a school called Brooks, and I said, "What's that?" He said, "It's a photography school," and I had a camera. I was having fun taking pictures, and I thought, maybe it's something I want to do for a living. So I applied, and off I went.
Oh, so I'm assuming that you also went to Brooks for college, right?
It's actually called Brooks Institute of Photography in Santa Barbara, California.
Okay, and that's where you went?
That's where I went to school for 4 years up there.
Was that a bachelor's program or a master's program?
No, it was a bachelor's. So I came out with a bachelor's degree in photography.
Okay, so what about photography really interested you?
Like I said, when I had a camera as a kid, I grew up in Southern California, shooting Southern California lifestyle. So when I went to school, it was a very different element. Science and art came crashing together in the world of commercial photography, and for me, it was perfect. I loved everything about it.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but, could you name some of your clients that you recently worked with?
Oh, sure. Let's see. Something that you might know, or maybe more of a household name, would be Taco Bell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I shoot a lot of food, and maybe not something that's so household name, but it's a big company called Edwards Life Science. They make heart valves for heart transplants.
Oh, wow. I've also heard that you've recently photographed Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa.
I did.
And I believe Lloyd Klein Couture.
Lloyd Klein Couture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what was it like just working with them both?
Very different experiences. Lloyd was a project I want to do for myself. He makes beautiful clothing for celebrities. He's a very shy man, and when I met his business partner, I approached him with the idea, and he wanted to make sure that Lloyd's very detail oriented. So he went to my website, and it wasn't until he really saw my work and appreciated what I did that I sort of get the approval. Well, the mayor was something I was actually doing was commissioned work for a client, and I literally had I was 4 blocks away working another job. I got a call, said you had 15 minutes to get here, get the shoot done, get the shot done, and get out. So, that's the way it works sometimes.
But you were in the area, right, when they called you?
I was just a few blocks away,
okay,
in downtown Los Angeles. So fortunately, a quick cab ride, camera and lights in hand. Show up at City Hall, and the clearances were already established, so I could walk right through and get set up for the work.
Yeah. Wow. Are there certain people or certain sceneries or anything like that that really inspired you?
As far as the people that go inspire me, historically, Helmut Newton has been someone that, and I think a lot of photographers have been inspired by his work from 20, 30 years ago.
Yes.
It's fashionable with a sense of eroticism as well. But commercial, and then also the people I assisted in the past. It would be Ken Marcus and Jeff Dunas. So if you knew the three of them and their work, you could probably see how my work hasn't been influenced by it over the years. Best I could say on that. I hope still that I find my work as being unique to me, though.
Oh, I mean, of course, it's your work. So, and speaking about your work, what really went through your mind as you took these photographs here and there?
When I'm working with people, it's the people. There's like an invisible barrier between everybody. Sometimes it's deeper or higher than others with others, but I try to make it as transparent as I possibly can so that we all get something we're looking for. Like the client is paying me, of course, me as a photographer to get something that's true and the subject, that's something that they appreciate as well. So it's really dynamic and it's very different with each person. So there's really not too much I can do to prepare for it. Just understand that it's actually going to be there.
Yeah. So would that be the hardest thing about photography?
Hardest thing. In today's world of photography, all the new technology it's just constantly evolving. I think between that and marketing yourself, so staying on top of what the new technology is and what it can do for me, and then marketing. I'm an artist. So to have to make phone calls and market myself and constantly, tell people that I'm here is the unpleasant part. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of a dual-edged sword on what the hardest part is.
Okay, so why exactly did you become a photography teacher?
I always wanted to, I think.
Teaching?
Yeah, I did. Well,
Oh,
when I
okay.
came out of Brooks, Santa Barbara was a beautiful place to live. And I thought at the end of my career, when I retire,
Yeah.
I'd like to go back. Well, it came about a lot sooner than my retirement. And I don't know if I'll ever retire because that was thinking of a young man. I love what I do. But it came about when there was an immediate position available here at Arts Institute. And somebody on campus knew I was in the area, local, and asked if I would be interested. Honestly, I said, sure. 3 days later, I was teaching introductory to photography, so.
Well, yeah, at least you're teaching, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Since you seem kind of busy with teaching and all, and I mean, I'm kind of really curious though, but do you have any side projects that you might be working on right now?
Yeah, my private time or my personal time, I still very invested in all the different arts and processes of what goes into my career. So I like to shoot short movies. So I might be working on something there. But and if it's not that, I really look for local charities that I might be able to invest my time in. It's something
Yeah.
that it's fulfilling for myself, the charity obviously, and it's a feel good moment.
So, if there wasn't photography, what else would you be doing?
Well, let's see. The easy answer would be a chef. I really think I'm quite a wizard in the kitchen. I love food. Obviously, I shoot food, but there's a driving passion inside of me to be a musician, and I have no musical talent whatsoever.
But you play an instrument though, right?
None. No, none. I just would like to be on stage and play an instrument and kind of get that immediate feedback from doing something I love. But photography, by the way, you don't get that feedback. You shoot a picture, and someone sees it wherever else they may be, and they might like it, but you don't get there's no public response. So
yeah.
I guess it's something I crave after doing this for over 20 years.
Well, I mean, for all those other young people, I guess, that are really interested in photography, I mean, is there anything you'd like to advise them?
Sure. It's a self-motivating kind of a process where, you may have lots of talent, but if you don't have a really strong work ethic, you're going to be in trouble because, no one tells me to get up in the morning and what to do.
Yeah.
I have to be constantly, sort of checking and balancing what I do. That's something I would tell every young photographer.
Oh, okay, so it's more about, I guess, discipline than anything else.
That's a good word, discipline.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you first started, I mean, was it easy for you to just kind of discipline yourself, or?
Well, I think if you love what you do, and this has been said in different ways from different people over and over, but if you love what you do, it's not really work.
Yeah.
And, so I love what I do, and so I enjoy getting up in the morning. If I'm being hired by a client, I love going to work. If I'm not, then I'm going to make something up to shoot on my own.
Well, thank you again for coming, Steve. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Well, this is Sunday Night City with James Lee. See you next time.